Alright, and here we are. Another voiceover. Alright, I think I should call it a commentary. Let me bring you up to speed. So, a group of about 15 guys split from the main field. This group consisted of a few hitters that I'm familiar with. Super Dave being one, Monster Media. Also in there was teammate Adam. And it was actually a pleasure to see some other teams involved in the race and keeping it animated. This group established about halfway through the race. It was a really short race for 35 plus. At this point, we're looking at 2 laps to go. I went across solo after the group was established about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 laps. Sharon was isolated, and as a sprinter, he was isolated. Even though we had Stephen Kim and Max Hernandez, we are all teammates in the move. So now we have 4 guys, myself and Sharon being the 2 fastest guys in this group, and we're looking at 2 laps to go. So at this point, there are 2 riders off the front. This is a downhill. I think we had a tailwind here. Pretty fast little area. That's Max Hernandez just to my left there in the black and yellow. And right now, I'm just in his ear, coaching him through what I want to see happen. So this is a downhill section. Sorry, I don't have any gauges up for you, but downhill going about 28, 29 miles an hour. And then we get this sweeping right-hander to go into the finish. So right here I have, you're actually looking at Sharon follow me. I threw a camera on his bike because I was going to be racing for him today for the finale. So again, we had Steven in the break doing a lot of dirty work earlier, along with Max Hernandez, the other boys, Aaron, we had John and Pishon all in the back patrolling, making sure that we are safe up front. So we are reaching to 1 lap to go. Max Hernandez just looked back because we had a nasty crash going into that last turn with 1 lap to go. Sorry. So here it is, bell lap. As you notice, when the crash happened, I didn't look down, I didn't look back. I wanted to keep my focus and make sure I don't overlap a wheel. So here, the 2 guys are still off the front, and I'm yelling at Max to pull longer, not harder, because when he initially took off, he actually started to gap me out a little bit. When you're giving a lead out for your sprinter, you got to always keep him in mind, or keep that sprinter in mind. You want to make sure everything is smooth as possible. A lot of big sudden movements makes it a lot harder, so that's why I take a lot of pride in leading Al Sharon, because I feel like I've been in that situation in his seat plenty of times. So I try to take the smoothest route possible. If you look just far in front of us, you see 2 more riders that are off the front, and we are chasing hard now. Max Hernandez did a great job digging deep. So now Max is actually going so hard. I give him a little gap just to see if he looks back and want to go a little harder, because these 2 guys are done. So I see Max sit up. I take this corner very wide so I can pedal throughout the whole corner. Again, no gauges, but here I am out of the saddle, 30 plus miles an hour. And you can't tell from this camera angle, but it does go uphill. I think the max percentage is about 3.5%. Doesn't sound like much, but it does take a little bit out of you. Here's the last corner, about 34 miles an hour. Sharon comes underneath. I mean, it was pretty simple sprint for him. He flies past me. He takes the win. I sprint to the all the way to the finish line, and we finish 1st and 2nd. So that was Roger Milliken, 2018 35 plus. Methods to win.